Hello friends, welcome to Drishti and also welcome to our series of Economy Simplified, in which we discuss many of the economic topics with details in short, with some multiple choice options, right? And let's begin the discussion on our new topic called Forex. Friends, the Forex word means or comes from the word foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, what is meant by this foreign exchange or the Forex? You see, we as a country undertake multiple of transaction with the outside world. We have a export, we have the import, we have the investments, we have the borrowings. Now suppose we import a commodity from say Gulf country, right? Now they would like us to make a payment. Now in what currency will we make the payments? They will not accept rupees, because they will like to have a currency which is used by other countries as well, because they may have to make payments to other countries for the imports of the various things like the defense equipment. And that is why all the countries of the world, they manage or they maintain a basket of different commodities or the currencies which are used to make transactions. That's a group of commodities called the Forex or the Forex reserves. India trades with USA, China, Japan and multiple countries, right? So what we do, we also maintain some set of the commodities, some currencies, some instruments like the dollars, yen, pound, sterling and other say gold, SDR, which may be used to pay the exporting countries against the goods that we have imported, right? So we are going to see what are the various components of Forex. See, India's Forex reserve, we've just seen that Forex will include all those possible commodities or say currencies which can be used to make transaction or which can be used to make exchanges at the foreign level. So the currencies that is used to make exchanges, make payments at the foreign level will be classified into a group called Forex reserves, right? Now Forex reserves usually have four components, right? One is the foreign currency asset, one is the gold, one is the SDR, and fourth is the reserve tranche at IMF. Let's see them one by one. The first component is the foreign currency assets. Friends, RBI, being a custodian of the India's Forex, maintains various foreign currencies, right? They maintain the deposits of the dollars, the pound, the euro, the yen and any other currency which may be used to make payments outside the country. They all constitute a group called the FCA, right? And this is the biggest component of India's Forex. Assume that our Forex is say nearly $700 billion. So nearly $550 billion are from the foreign currency assets, right? Now they invest into the foreign currency bonds as well. Suppose RBI buys a treasury bill of USA, so that's a kind of Forex held by RBI because the money is invested and retained in the dollars, right? Then we have the gold. RBI maintains huge amount of gold, and gold again is an instrument through which we can make payments to the world, right? We have in the past borrowed money from the IMF by pledging our gold. So gold has been a old method of foreign exchange, right? And that's a part of India's Forex. The third is the SDR. SDR is the special drawing rights. What is the SDR? Friends, you see, the IMF in 1969 has devised an instrument to help the countries, right? Now IMF deals with multiple countries, they can't deal with multiple currencies. So what they have done is they have devised a system, kind of a reserve asset, SDR, which is kind of a, which is similar to, see, it's not a currency because currencies belong to a country, but they are reserve assets. They are maintained by RBI. So the India is holding SDRs, right? And the SDR can be used against any payment. We can give SDR and get some dollars, some pound in exchange. So whatever SDR do we have is a part of India's Forex. You see, SDR is a reserve asset which is based upon the basket of 5 currencies. It's about the US dollars, it's about European euro, it's about Chinese renminbi, it's about Japanese yen, and it's about the British pound. So based upon these 5 currencies, the value of SDR is found, and the biggest share of the currency, see, dollars are the most reserved asset in the world. So SDR's value is determined mostly by dollars, and the dollar contribution, you can say, is nearly 43%. So this is about kind of a weightage the dollars have in the valuation of the one SDR. The euro contains a weightage of nearly 29%, right? The Chinese currency renminbi has a weight of nearly 12%, and these two have a weight of nearly 7.5%, 7.5%. So these are the weightages of 5 currencies based on which we have a value of the SDR. And reserve tranche at IMF means a kind of a balance that we have at IMF, which we can withdraw at any time without any charge in case we need to make some payments. So India's Forex is about reserve tranche at IMF, it's about the SDR, it's about the gold and the FCA. So this is our components of Forex, and the amount of Forex do we have will help India to strengthen our external payments, because Forex are used to make payments. So suppose we have high amount of, say, Forex, we are able to pay our debts, we are able to pay our obligations, we are able to pay the imports, and as a result India will be in a better position, right? Let's have some questions on the Forex to have it understand in a better way, right? So we have one question here, under which of the following legal frameworks is the RBI explicitly empowered to manage and invest in India's foreign exchange reserves? Friends, RBI is a custodian of India's forex reserves. The RBI holds the India's foreign forex reserves. RBI plays in the market, goes in the market to stabilize our exchange rates, right? So RBI is empowered to do all these things by 2 laws. One is itself the RBI Act, which has been the founding act of RBI, and the second is the Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA. So FEMA and the RBI Act 1934, these are the 2 acts under which RBI is empowered to, say, manage the India's forex reserves. RBI Act is a founding act of RBI's powers, and the FEMA is particularly linked to the foreign exchange reserves, right? The second question we have is consider the following statements regarding India's external sector indicators. You see, the first statement is Forex reserve to the total external debt. Friends, this means that suppose India's total external debt that we have to pay outside the country is, say, for example, $100 billion, right? And we have a Forex of, for example, $120 billion. So this statement says that a Forex reserve to the external debt ratio is greater than 100%, implies that the country can theoretically pay off all its foreign debt using the reserves. And this looks correct because suppose we have a Forex of $120 billion and the debt is $100 billion. So we can easily, suppose we sell our Forex reserves and we make payments to our lenders, we can easily pay off our debts. And that's why this statement holds correctness, because this is what the main purpose of the Forex is, that we are able to pay off our debts. And suppose the Forex is high, we can easily pay our debts. The second statement is the short-term external debt, right, constitutes the largest chunk of India's total external debt. Friend, this statement so far is correct because you see, we have a debt of more than $750 billion and 82% of the debt is the short term, which see, the debt we have, 18% is the short term debt and 82% is the long term debt. Means that the debt in the long term that is to be paid after more than a year is large, and that is why this statement is incorrect, because the short term debt is a shorter part, long term debt is a larger part. That's why this is an incorrect statement. So answer here becomes 1. Let me repeat the second statement, that suppose whatever debt we have, right, the amount of debt that is to be paid in the short term, that is to be paid in the less than 1 year, is small. As a result, we don't have an immediate liability to pay the debts, and that's why our Forex reserves, see, we have a Forex of $700 billion nearly, and we have a debt of more than $750 billion. So our debt is more than the Forex, but the risk is not imminent because a large part of the debt is the long-term debt which is to be paid for after the 1 year tenure, and the 18% only is the debt which is to be paid every year. And that is why even if the Forex is less than the debt, we are able to manage the debts easily. So this statement is incorrect. This is correct. Answer is A only. The third statement we have is the value of the IMF's special drawing rights is determined by a basket of currencies. Which of the following correctly identifies the currencies in this basket and their ordering from highest to lowest as per the recent versions? We have just seen the question that the biggest share of the currency in the SDR is, say, US dollar. So US dollar is the first biggest component. Second is the euro. This is also correct, but Chinese renminbi, this becomes wrong because second it has given to Chinese renminbi, which is the third position. Third is the Chinese renminbi, right? So this is wrong, right? This is wrong. So the answer, friends, become A, that the US dollar, then the euro, renminbi, yen and British pound, these are the decreasing order of the SDR in the SDR basket, right? We have one more question coming up. A persistent and rapid accumulation of the Forex reserves by the RBI is most likely to lead to which of the following domestic outcomes? Friends, if the RBI holds a lot of Forex reserves, right, what would happen, right? Suppose RBI has a lot of Forex, so in case the rupee depreciates, rupee value falls, RBI may sell the dollars in the market to check the rupee's slide, because RBI will increase the dollar supply. As a result, dollar's price will decrease, rupee will appreciate. So rupee's depreciation will be countered, and this is correct because yes, with high Forex, RBI's ability to check rupee depreciation will increase. Now, of course, you see, this will increase the RBI's balance sheet because again the Forex is maintained by RBI, and the Forex increase will add to RBI's balance sheets. Now, when RBI has a lot of Forex, it can release them in the market, right? As a result, market will have liquidity. So this is again a correct statement. So the answer here becomes D. 1, 2 and 3, all of them are correct. So answer is D, friends. So this is all about the Forex reserves. I hope we are clear on this part. We shall meet up again with the next of the topics. See you then. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.